Dr. Maury, Uncivilized Vitality. This is a quick video about our cook kit, or at least the cook kit, mess kit that I carry. Lots of different versions of that. I'm going to go through this. So your bowl, bag, and bottle, that category of tools, containers, things you can carry and keep all your possessions in, like your waist pouch, your backpack. You can fashion a bag out of origami. But bowl and bottle. Bowl and bottle have to do with eating, obviously, and preparing food and use with your fire. But the main purpose of bottle is to purify and transport potable water. This is a 40-ounce clean canteen with the wide mouth and the little kind of a pseudo bail on top of that. So you can, once that's screwed on there, you can clip a carabiner on there and carry that. I typically slip that in a bottle pocket or just down in my bag. Single-walled stainless steel or titanium is important. Single-walled is important for your water bottle. Your entire kit's going to be based around this. Gives me 40 ounces of hydration, 2 of these a day as a baseline, and I'm good. I can scoop water right out of a fast-moving river, or pour water through here, through a filter from still water, maybe origami or a cloth, and then I can set this right in the fire and boil it, let it cool down, and then I've got potable water. I've always got a way to purify water and transport it with the bottle. So we're going to build our entire kit around this. I always have this bottle with me. Sometimes I'll take a second bottle, stainless steel bottle, very rarely. Usually I'll take a secondary, like a disposable, like an iced tea bottle or a plastic water bottle or a metal water bottle that I'll use over and over and over to mix drinks in. In my cook kit, I carry a bag of teas and hydration, caffeine. I've got some jerky and a pemmican bar in there. So this goes in my cook kit just with my drinks, hot chocolate, bone broth, whatever else I've got in there. So I load the drink bag up, and this goes with my bottle so I can flavor some water or have a little bit of sustenance with me. Food's always last on my worry chart, so let's throw that over there. So around my bottle and purifying water, the next best thing you can couple this with would be a cup. And here I've got, I think this is a 25-ounce stainless steel cup. It's got little folding batwing handles on it. I believe this one's from Dave Canterbury's Self-Reliance Outfitters. Could be a GSI. It's all kind of used now, so I'm not sure. But the cool part of this is it comes with a little lid, and it's got a little handle to lift the lid. It's got little strain holes for straining water out if you're boiling noodles or pasta, which you really shouldn't eat, in there. And then I've used a piece of wire and I've fashioned kind of an aftermarket bail for this thing, so I can hang this over the fire. And then I've got a little tiny cook pot, and I can drop my lid right over the top of that. Now I've got a tiny little cook pot. I could boil water in this. I can make admittedly a teeny tiny little stew for myself, but it gives me a way to measure water out from my bottle if I'm using a dehydrated meal and it calls for 8, 12, 16 ounces of water. I can use this to measure out how much water I'm boiling for my meal. So it's got the little lid and the bail. I made that aftermarket, but you can get any kind of GSI cup. You could drill little holes in the side and make yourself a little bail. Then you just, I think I made that out of a coat hanger, and I just keep that in my kit and with the lid. And then my clean canteen bottle nests right in that, so I've got a very compact, minimalist cooking kit. And then I can eat right out of there. I can drink out of there. I can mix things up. Oh yeah, it is Self-Reliance. I see a little bit of the faded logo. So a clean canteen, a 25-ounce stainless steel cup from Self-Reliance Outfitters, and I've got a complete mess kit. I add this lid. Now I've got and the bail. I've got the ability to cook, make something besides just drink. I could boil water in here and pour it in the bottle. Speaking of cups, here's a cup I used to like. This one's from GSI. This is a little insulated cup. It's got a lid. This is great for warm liquids. Main problem is, as much as I like this cup and the little insulated koozie it comes with for sipping hot drinks, it's not worth carrying because I can't put it directly in the fire and purify water. So it's a super luxury. It's not something I carry anymore, a cup like this. I would just substitute it for this stainless steel. If holding it became an issue, you could use some reflective, got this idea from one of our members. She's been camping hike her whole life. She came up with this good idea. Just some aluminized reflective adhesive tape for like ductwork and HVAC stuff. And you can just make a little bottom koozie for your cup. So now I can hold that while my drink is hot. It sticks on the bottom, is flat. I can set it down. And this is, I can just wad this up and throw it in my backpack. It doesn't take up any room at all. So that kind of makes up for not having this insulated cup. Okay, so I got my miniature pot and my little koozie and my bottle. Now, eating steak or stew and things out of that cup is fine, right? You can combine that. Here's a little, I thought this was clever, this little folding spoon, a little folding titanium spoon. It's got this fold out handle so it's long enough to reach down into those dehydrated meal bags. And then you slide the little lock, fold it up. You could even pinch that and take that off. Now you just got a small spoon when you're just eating around camp. Right? This is great, but what if you want to drink a warm liquid while you're eating from your bowl? Right? If you're not running a dehydrated meal, sometimes it's a good idea to have a plate or a bowl with you. Now I have this small bowl. I'm actually quite pleased with this. Got this from Self-Reliance Outfitters as well. This is their titanium skillet. I use it as a bowl. Now it's titanium, so it's going to conduct the heat really quick, so it's hard to hold on to. So I made another Reflectix little koozie for that. So I'll use this bowl so I can hold on to it while I'm eating or cutting my steak, or I put my rattlesnake sandwich in there recently. So this is great and serves multiple purposes. I can pull this out of the little koozie, and it also has one of these handles that kind of clip right in there. Lock that into position with the little slide, spread those apart. Now I've got a little skillet. So now I can cook. I use it as a skillet, as a bowl. Sometimes I could use that as an alternative drinking vessel. I could drink out of that, right? Drink my soup. If it's a little too hot or I'm dealing with something warm, I got this little homemade Reflectix type koozie that I made, so I can carry that. Now I've got getting to be a pretty full kit between the bowl, my bottle, and a cup. The bowl and bottle nest right into the cup. That's a complete kit. Throw a spoon in there. I'm all set for depending on what I'm going to eat or what food and drinks we're going to be using that weekend. If I know we're going to do maybe a communal meal like the big stew pot, I'll bring a bowl so that I can enjoy a hot drink while I eat. I can fold all of this up, and right inside this pot, I drop my bail if I'm going to need the pot. I can drop my lid, my folding spoon or half spoon. I can drop the handle for the skillet, goes right in there. Okay. And then I've got an entire mess kit. Typically on top of that with my mess kits, I'm going to carry a little bottle of salt. Always have some salt. And my little fire poke. I keep a fire poke with my cooking kit just in case my main fire starter, lighter or ferro rod in my pocket is inaccessible or I got lost. My backup fire rod, I usually wear a little ferrocerium necklace around my neck or a fire poke around my neck. And then I keep a ferro rod on my, typically with my belt knife. But then in here with my cook kit, I keep a lighter just for some quick access, a bunch of Bigfoot Bushcraft fire starters, a secondary, or actually it's be my tertiary or quaternary backup ferro rod, and then a couple of little fire tinders like these little S-bit, I don't know what that is, some kind of flammable gel. But you pop it out of there. If I'm using a folding stove that weekend, or I've got that little folding stove, or that little round stove, Hex titanium stove I carry in the cook kit sometimes. That folds flat and just sits right underneath this bowl. I use a couple of these little fire starters. If we're somewhere where an open flame is not permissible or advisable. Right? Then we'd break out the little flat folding stove, which ironically I don't have with me to show you my cook kit or my mess kit video. Right? Then I keep my little fire poke tucked right in there flat on top of that. Now, I always have a bag to keep my mess kit in. I take this little setup and I put it in the bottom of that bag. And I roll that bag down, and then this little compact cooking kit goes right into my backpack. Usually sits in a top pocket or at the bottom. And this goes in the water bottle pocket on the side. Now I've got varying levels of mess kit. Now this bag, I could also throw on top of that my drink bag. Usually sits right on top, goes in the bag. And this would be, for me, this is my full kit for the weekend. And of course, the addition of a flat stove, which sits right in that bag. And then I would just have a food bag or a couple dehydrated meals, or depending on what we're going to hunt and gather that weekend or scrounge about for food, this would be it. Okay? That's a full mess kit. Now, the bag can serve other purposes. I can collect, like I said, or hunting and gathering or scrounging about that weekend. I can use this this Dyneema fabric bag to collect things. I could even, and have, collected water in this to filter into my water bottle to pour. And I typically will throw one of these in my bag too. This is a Life Straw. So I usually mark the date when I start using them. This is a new one from the summer. And then after I've used them for about 6 months or so, then I just get rid of them and get a new one. So this is if I don't want to take the time or don't have the opportunity to stop and boil water. I can just take a quick drink. I can scoop up water in the bag and filter it and drink out of my Life Straw. I can dip this right down in my water bottle or my cup or even my bowl or right out of the water. So this is a good idea to have in my kit because I don't always want to stop and boil water. And then much like I didn't bring my stove, the flat folding stove to show you. We'll show you stoves in another video unless we've done that already. I didn't bring the full water filter. So if I'm going on a larger group and we're going to be sharing, I'll bring an actual water pump as opposed to a Life Straw. That makes it a little quicker if we're just drawing potable water instead of stopping and boiling for everyone. Two other things. I can move up in size. Let's say I brought my cup with this little bail. This cup would be just for me to eat and drink out of. If it's myself and Carrie Ann going or one other person, I might bring a slightly larger bush pot. Still has the lid, the bail, and the two bat wings. Sometimes I'll even carry this for myself as a cup because it's not too big, but it serves as a bowl and a cup. It's kind of hard to cut steak or other food items like that in here. That's why I always have the little skillet or bowl with me. Or sometimes just a plank of wood we'll shave down to eat off of. But I'll take this if it's a couple. So if it's Carrie Ann and I'll bring the slightly larger bush pot. This also is titanium from the Self-Reliance Outfitters. I believe their titanium collection. Neat thing about this is if you're going to combine this, it will nest right down inside. It'll sit right down inside that skillet. So now you've got a little cook set. Fits right in that skillet. Now if you want to go a little bit bigger when Carrie Ann and I are traveling together. If I have a larger group, there's the old tried and true bush pot, batwing handle, bail, and the little lid. This one's quite sizable. I've used this one for years and years. This one's stainless steel. If there's two or maybe up to three people, just a couple of us, I'll take the smaller kit. If it's just me, I'll take the cup. Okay. So those are the components of my mess kit. My mess kit's mainly concerned with producing sterilized and potable water, along with having something that's a clean surface I can eat out of. It's kind of multi-use and versatile. So I would set my entire kit together. The bottle and cup would go in my water bottle pocket. That way I don't have to improvise, maybe use my hat as a koozie. I might stuff one of these down there if I anticipate holding the hot cup. Otherwise, I'll set this little titanium bowl in the bottom of this green bag, or the bush pot, or whatever I'm using. Next, I'll fold up and throw a drink bag down in there in a Ziploc bag, so I have a place for my trash to automatically go. Throw maybe that cup koozie in there, the Life Straw down in there, or maybe I'll put the Life Straw on the top of my bag. And so I can get a drink as we're walking along. We don't have to stop and boil water. I'm going to put that in. Then I can roll that down, and I've got my entire mess kit. Sometimes that bag I can add the food, but it's ready to go. So if you have any questions about the individual pieces, links to where to find those, comment below, let Logan know, and maybe he can post those in one of those fancy floating in the air YouTube cards right here. So that'd be my mess kit. I recommend at the very least you have a single-walled stainless steel bottle, 40 ounces or greater, so you're not constantly filling it, and a nesting stainless steel cup. And then these two items is the minimum that you need. A secondary bottle or water bladder is a great idea. A water filter or a Life Straw makes for some more redundancy, so you can get your water as you need it. A spoon is nice, not entirely necessary. You can always drink your meal or scoop it out with some whittled chopsticks, or you can whittle a little spoon. But sometimes it's cold, it's wet, you just don't want to deal with that, so you just bring a spoon with you. And then if you're going ultimate luxury, bring yourself a little plate or a bowl, and you would be good to go. Leave comments below, subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, or let us know what type of content you're looking for. We really have a lot of camping, philosophical, health and wellness advice, and then there's some anatomy, and then there's of course the members only channel. So check those out, let us know what you like, and we will try to produce more of it. Okay, that's it.